Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for January 23rd, 2022. With your host, Beastbreaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hello.
It's episode final. It's the movie. Oh. Oh boy. Where do we begin? I'm not sure. I don't know. This movie was certainly a thing. I don't know if I really enjoyed rewatching, because I remember watching this movie. Hey, if you're listening to Presto, you've heard how Tommy feels about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, this is our one of two-part finale, I guess, on watching Ryuki, because we are done with this fucking show. So we're just gonna check out the extra material in like 2 more episodes and be done and move on. But yeah, I guess some just quick notes on this. This movie came out August 17th, 2002. So we are, I think in the show, we are like a month in front of this movie-ish from when we were left off. I say as I do not remember.
I can see that.
I say that as I don't remember the last episode number. 32. Okay.
Yeah, 32.
32 debuted. Yes, almost exactly a month. September 8th, 2002. We are almost a month ahead of when this movie debuted, as of the show. Yay. The writer, of course, is our good friend Toshiki Inoue. Don't you love Toshiki Inoue writing? It's the best. It doesn't make me upset in any capacity whatsoever.
No, why would it?
I'm sure you see the caps lock sentence down below somewhere in the notes. I forget the page it's on. But yeah. And our director is Ryuta Tazaki. We ran into him before. I didn't bother to list anything specific because honestly, I don't think there's anything really interesting going on in terms of the direction of this movie. It's kind of standard writer fare. But yeah, any specific thoughts going into this movie?
No.
Fair
not
enough.
At all.
Fair enough.
I'm just
done.
I was bored like halfway through, which, you know, is when we got the whole stupid subplot.
Yeah, okay. I was like, fuck, where would halfway into this movie be? Because I'm not even sure.
Yeah, stupid subplot.
Yeah.
Because we'll hit that, I'm almost 100% positive. Yeah. I know, I quit caring at that point.
Yeah, it just kind of all goes downhill from like minute 1.
Yeah. And we don't even get any good fight sequences to kind of, you know, try to bring it back.
Oh fuck no.
That's
this movie...
the worst part of it. It's like, it's bad enough we're getting crap story, but we're getting crap fights too.
There is a very minimal amount of fighting in this movie, Which reminds me that there is a very minimal amount of fighting in the show to start with.
Yeah, and that might be the problem. It has no fighting and a story that's premise is fighting.
Yep.
Wow.
So...
now that I say that out loud, wow.
Yeah! This show is about a writer war. What if the writer war just didn't happen for like 70% of the show?
I mean, you know, Shinji does get his way. The writer war kind of, you know, doesn't happen, but it's not because of his doing. Well, I mean, it is, but it's more because everyone pointing and laughing at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as an extra note, there is a director's cut of this movie with additional footage that rounds this out to some amount of runtime that I don't know and I don't care to do the research for. That is the version that I ended up watching. Tommy, what is the version you ended up watching, out of curiosity?
You might want to find out how long, because we both might have watched.
Oh, did it say director's cut on the title?
It didn't, but that doesn't mean nothing with the way with where I actually watch everything.
Okay, it is like 127. Yeah, 137 director's cut.
Oh, piss.
Honestly, as I have listed at the bottom of the notes is all the director's cuts differences. These are all the differences. I don't think this amounts to much. I think it might amount to like 10 extra minutes. Or is it still 137 for you?
The one I watched was 137.
Okay, so we both seen the director's cut. Yay! It's the most complete version!
That's why I said, piss.
So, let's get into the recap then. We kick off with a title screen showing the final event cards for all 13 of our riders, and then eliminating most of them, including Odin, who is sure not appearing in this movie, even though Kanzaki Shiro is here. And should be the last one fighting our riders. But he's not in this movie. Okay. I guess the deck doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, it's plot tech.
Yeah. We are currently at 6 remaining riders. Fem, our new rider for this movie, who is a female rider. Ryuki. Ryuga, who is also our new rider for this film, who is our first proper Dark Rider of the Heisei era. Fem is actually our first proper female rider of the Heisei era. I have to specify that because technically there is a female character who transforms into Agito for like 0.5 seconds on screen. So
I almost want to disagree with you on the first Dark Rider also. I feel like Oja probably could be considered that.
Fair. I think he gets it because he's the dark mirror of Ryuki, and usually our pure Dark Riders are mirror images. Kind of, sometimes. Not really.
Not
it's whatever.
really.
But I also say that because technically another Agito exists in Agito, who is kind of a Dark Rider at times, but then kind of not. He's kind of anti-hero. So, poo. But anyway, he's here. Oj is also here. Knight is also here. And Zola is also here. More or less, it's our core 4 riders plus 2. Because no one else is appearing. Pretty much. No one else is appearing in this movie. We begin with a flash forward. Because we start with an in medias res of monsters attacking a mall and getting them caught up in webs and then pulling them into the mirror world so they can be eaten. That is when our main four arrive to fight the monsters. And then Fem shows up by crashing through the roof. And then beats up some monsters and then sees Asakura and is like, "You!" And then begins to fight him. That takes us to the title screen, which I think shows images of the movie in the series. I think. I didn't bother to check.
I didn't bother to care.
Accurate. So now we go back to the proper start of this movie. We're at Italy as the group are telling ghost stories. Starting with the aunt, my favorite character. Yay. So she tells a story, I don't care. Then Shinji tells a story about meeting a girl one day at a park. And then he played with her, and then she disappeared suddenly. And then the next day, they were going to meet up, but then it was raining, so oh no. So they couldn't meet up until the girl met up with him in his room randomly. So they played, and then she randomly disappeared again. Also, they made these, like, I guess go-away rain dolls that are a thing in Japan. I think those are what that's for. But yeah, Shinji tells the story. Ren's like, "That's bullshit, you're probably dreaming." And Shinji's like, "Maybe. I don't know. It's a plot point, by the way." Believe it or not, that's a plot point. But he gets called by his boss to remind him, "By the way, you have an important assignment tomorrow. Go to bed." So we cut to tomorrow, where we find out what that important assignment is. Apparently, we're trying to catch some swindler guy who is getting money out of people he's trying to marry. And his next target is Miho, who they're going to try to enlist to help them. I think this is where the director's cut inserts the scenes that mucks with continuity of this movie, because the scene has them talk to Miho to ask for her help. She refuses, but then in the next scene, she's wearing a wire.
Yeah.
How? I thought she said no. But now she's on board? When? Movie, I think you could very agree a continuity error.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Miho goes and talks to this guy. By the way, Shinji is smitten by this girl very badly. They have exactly zero chemistry. Good lord. So they have nothing. But we follow Miho, she talks to the guy, she's wired up, so they hear him pull his sob story about his company and stuff to get her to accept the marriage. And then Shinji comes in, fucking just drops his wallet to show his business card, like, I'm with the press. Like he's a cop, apparently.
Yeah.
To be like, you're technically not under arrest, but we're gonna bust you and prevent you from doing this. And that's when Miho disappears. And as her parents, because this guy was supposed to be meeting her parents today, show up, we find out that they're not her parents. They are, in fact, the people who just live in this house that she randomly broke into, I guess, and replaced the picture with her in it. Because, surprise, she's also a swindler. And she stole the guy's ring and Shinji's wallet and ran. I don't know why she stole Shinji's wallet.
He thought he had money. Because he acted important.
Ha! Fucking, yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Shinji can't have money. He still owes it all to Ren.
Yep. Anyway, We follow her. She's happy around the ring. But when she checks the wallet, there's just like a bunch of coins in there. So she at least bums a drink off of him from the coins before Shinji shows up. And then he's just like, I just gave me back my wallet. And she's like, oh, sorry. Would you like a drink? And he's like, ah, yeah, sure. I did put your front. God, he's so fucking stupid. I hate it. Fucking hate it. So we see the two of them argue for a bit, and then Kitaoka and Goro show up to see this comedy bit of her more or less bullying Shinji that I think gave me enough energy to power through the first part of this movie. It didn't last long, though. Because Shinji tries to get the wallet out of her hand. She's like, take it. You want me to let go? And like, she lets go, and then it goes flying, and all the coins go flying out of it. And I'm like, yes, bully Shinji more, please. I need this. I need something, damn it. But at this point, the other swindler shows up, except he gets killed by a mirror monster. That Miho also notices. And then she hops into action, transforming into Femme. How do you like this being our counterpart to Siren?
I don't know how to feel.
There is, especially by the end, yeah. But we'll get there. But she transforms into Femme, hops in the fight. Shinji hops in to help. She sees that Shinji's also a writer. Kitaoka also helps him because fucking I got nothing better to do this whole entire movie, because I got nothing to do this entire movie. Because, okay, does it feel like that Kitaoka and Rin are just tag-alongs in this movie and they have nothing?
Yes.
Like nothing?
Yes.
So yeah, they go fight the monster. It's got buddies, a big old bunch of them. Mio takes out a bunch with her final vent. Boys clean up a bunch of the others, but then there's more, and they get shoved out before they time out, or they time out, I guess. I don't know. They end up getting knocked out of the mirror world and not followed and eaten because this horde of monsters is very patient. They could cause a lot more destruction than they do, and they don't this entire movie until the end. Meanwhile to all this, we find out that it's Yui's birthday soon. By the way, that's also a plot point that's just randomly here. I love how the greater plot of this movie is just one-off scenes that you don't think are relevant at all. But we also see that Mystery Girl shows up in the mirror for Adley, for Yui. And then the mirror starts to pulse and the sound starts playing, and then Yui passes out. That's not good. Once they get out, Shinji with the line that just makes me go, I wish you'd fucking die. Fuck off. He says that being a writer is too much for a girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can someone writer kick him in the head, please? I need
that line getting stated right there. Kind of just not care anymore at that point.
Yeah. Fuck him. On no uncertain terms, fuck Shinji. But yeah, Yui and him try to talk some more, but it doesn't go far. Yui heads out. Shinji gets called about, Miho heads out, and then Shinji gets called about Yui. Apparently, she has collapsed like this before, as we find out from when we get back to Adley. When she was separated from Shiro, and she also talks into the mirror a lot, like there was a person on the other side. Also, when Yu wakes up, she doesn't remember the story at all whatsoever. They are shoving in a lot of plot stuff with her that just doesn't exist before this movie.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we check in with Asakura, who's just beating up two random dudes because he can. Except Shiro interrupts it to be like, by the way, I'm calling a meeting. Bye. Shinji and Rin start to talk about the story, but it doesn't go very far, because then Shiro shows up to be like, I'm calling a meeting. So all our writers are in the church, and he lays out that they've got 3 days to fucking murder each other, or no one gets a wish. Okay? I want that to be emphasized. If no one kills each other in if we don't have a winner in 3 days, nobody gets anything. Because Shiro's the one dealing out the wish. So, y'all gotta get to murdering each other. Also, biggest BS in the fucking world. He says that the Rider War was created by their desires and not him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who made the decks and handed them to people? No, you started this. Don't you start deflecting. Don't you fucking start, you son of a bitch. You are a lying, manipulative fucker. Don't start. You are the villain. So, 4 of our writers start to fight each other. Miho and Asakura decide to fight each other. Rin and Kitaoka decide to fight each other to settle a thing that they have between each other. When did they have a thing between each other?
Yes.
Alright. Shinji's also like, no, I'm gonna stop them from fighting. I would like to remind everyone that Ren's wife is still in a coma and can only be revived with the wish. Just going to point that out, that is still a plot point, even though this movie refuses to say those exact words. At all. The whole movie. They hint at it, but they never talk about it. I don't know why. So, everyone fights. Honestly, Miho has the better of Asakura until Shinji interrupts, and then he just knocks them both around with Evil Diver. So, Shinji continuing to fuck up and not help. He eventually more or less gets everybody on the wrong end of Zelda's final event, and he shoots it, and then it kills no one.
Because it never does.
Yeah. And then everyone leaves. Which, guys, 3 days. Y'all are really just don't want to kill each other, don't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Shinji, Rin, and Miho end up at the church. Kitaoka and Asakura end up elsewhere. This is when we find out that from Miho that her sister got killed by Asakura, and she's out for revenge. Isn't this more or less the same thing with Tezuka, except it's Asakura instead of Shiro?
Yeah.
I feel like someone copy-pasted Tezuka's backstory on the Miho and just Control-F'd certain parts of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, she wants to team up with the others, but before we get to that, we find out she also just like, fuck Asakura, he's the murderer. Accurate. Fuck Kitaoka, he has no morals. I mean, less so, but also accurate. Like, Asakura still went to jail under Kitaoka, but he did go under for a lesser sentence. Also, we find out that Kitaoka wanted to help the girl, or help Miho, in the fight because he like stopped Asakura from attacking Miho once. Because she's a girl, he doesn't give really any other explanation to Asakura, and he's like, fucking whatever, I don't care. Also, Kito, because the condition is worsening. But when Miho asks the boys if they want to team up, Ren's answer is no, because I don't want to be friends, because y'all have to die eventually. Okay, one, there's a thing later in this movie that proves that wrong. B, wouldn't it be better to team up with people that you could trust? Therefore, your wish could be granted? Because I'm pretty sure Shinji has no wish. Also, Shinji doesn't want anyone to fight, even though, again, Asakura has murdered people in front of him. Maybe we should not let him get an all-powerful wish. Nope. Still going that route. God, I hate Shinji. He sucks. But Ren leaves. Shinji tries to talk to Miho, and Miho fakes an injury just to punk him out and punch him in the gut and then leave because gotta bully him some more. Later on, she does call Shinji to be like, hey, I need help to con this man into leaving me alone. Will you pretend to be my boyfriend? This is the stupid subplot, and I hate it.
I hate it because it lasts way too long.
This is the entire middle portion of this movie. Like, the entire middle portion of this movie, I think, is this plotline.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, Shinji shows up. He's too stupid for his own good because he knows it's a trap, but he goes anyway. And then he gets pulled in to pretend to be her girlfriend, and then they do shenanigans, and the guy buys it. And then we see Soichi, aka Kamen Rider Agito, runs this restaurant, which, good for him, since he technically is running a restaurant at the end of Agito. I guess he runs this one too. I honestly don't care if it's a different character or not. I'm accepting this as Soichi because I need something positive to talk about with this movie. Also, the guy they conned footed the bill for the meal for some reason. All right. Then she pulls Shinji into going to the amusement park with her. Hi, Mana. Do you happen to recognize her as someone else? Even though I have it listed in the notes.
No, actually.
The person that ran the ticket booth that you saw for exactly 5 seconds.
There again, I wasn't really caring.
Okay. Naomi from Den-O showed up here because before she played Naomi in Den-O, she played Mana in Agito, and because a lot of Agito characters show up in this movie, technically Mana's running this ticket booth. Or Naomi before she went to work on the Den liner. I don't fucking know. I don't care. It's one of them. We see them do some rides. She ends up tying Shinji's shoelaces later after they get ice cream to baby him some more because she does that a lot. And then she tries to get close to steal his deck, which he notices. That causes them to fight. And then they split up. But we do see her at this point check in with her dead sister's corpse that is in cryo freeze until they can get the technology to bring her back to life. This feels like a con. Outside of the fact that she's trying to wish her back to life with the wish, so trying to preserve her body, but why would you need to preserve her body if you are going to get the wish?
Yeah.
You technically don't need the body.
Yeah.
So, that's a thing. We go over to Adley's. It's raining. Yui sees the mirror break when she tries to go get a towel for Shinji. And then the noise happens, and she starts to remember things about her childhood, so she runs out into the rain and go digs up an old box that's next to some stone that Shinji and Rin find her at randomly. And I like to point out that they are not helping her dig in the mud while it's raining. You dumbasses could help her.
They could.
At least one of you could help her. It's just stand there and do nothing. So, she digs up the box. We find out that there are broken pieces of a mirror in the box, along with drawings of all the mirror monsters, not just the riders, as they show a couple of the regular ones. So it's technically all of them. So apparently, she drew them because she wanted them to protect her after, her brother left. She ended up playing with a boy one day. Totally not Shinji. It's totally a coincidence.
Totally not. I mean... Also, this is the point that Shinji should have, had that light bulb moment. Not, I don't know, 15 minutes later?
I think it's more than 15, but yes. I think
You're
it's
right.
in the last,
It is in,
like,
the last... It's in, the last 15 minutes of it.
Yeah. But yeah, she couldn't meet up with the boy the next day because it was raining and stuff, so she was sad, so she befriended herself that was in the mirror, and she went in the mirror, and she is happy and played with her. This totally not Hellscape place with its fucking very wrong colored sky. That should be very concerning, but I guess we're not gonna pay attention to that. But apparently she ended up spending too much time there. We don't know how much time there, but she spent too much time up there, and she can't return, or else she'll die. So, her mirror self gives up her life, or some life, in exchange for the pictures, so Yui could live. But now she continues to see the girl, because, now we catch up to the opening of the movie, and from there we find out that on her 20th birthday, Yui will disappear, because the life that she is given will run out. So you can now see why Shiro made a time limit, because guess when her 20th birthday is in? Relatively 2 days or so, because I think we're on day 2.
I mean, it's totally in 3 weeks from, right?
I don't know.
I want to point out how bad of a person Shiro is that gave them a 3-day time limit, meaning that he cut it down to the wire on saving her. Meaning that yes, this was for him, but he was too stupid to actually pay attention to, maybe I should give myself some wiggle room in case, Shinji decides to screw this up worse.
Look, we've long established that Shiro is an absolutely garbage villain. In the worst ways.
Yeah.
He's very bad at doing his villain job.
Yeah.
But anyway, back with the writers. They're duking it out. Kitaoka goes after Asakura, only for Mio to step in and be like, "Don't help me!" and pokes him in the hand and injures his hand. She does a teleporting tick on Asakura with her guard vent, but then he just summons Metal Snaker and melts her shield. And oh no! She's in trouble! Only for the black recolor of Ryuki called Ryuga shows up and then beats the shit out of Asakura. Because he catches Mio from being killed by his United Final Vent, beats the shit out of Asakura, Rider kicks Genocider and kills it, reverting Asakura to his blank form, which, by the way, all of the footage of the blank form that is not shot in shadow is color-corrected footage. There is no actual Oja blank form suit. They just tweak the colors a little bit. Which is why it doesn't quite look right, considering we, I guess, have a standard for blank forms with Ryuki. So after he's dropped in this blank form, Miho destroys his deck. So he just now dissolves in the mirror world. He does laugh in her face as he dies. So, hey, he's dead. We're down to 5. We do see Kitoga pass out, going back home, or going back to the real world, and Goro finds him. And that's when he's like, you know what? I think I'm done. So he calls Reiko for the 42nd time, as he points out, to ask her out on a date. And she accepts this time. So him and Goro decide to go prep for it. And he abandons his deck. And the movie points out that this counts. Therefore, we're down to 4 riders.
Except for this doesn't count. Because someone kind of missed that memo.
Yeah. Kitoga's not dead yet. Yet being the key word, so... How does this count? Anyway...
Very carefully.
Yeah. Anyway, Miho and Shinji... Or Miho calls Shinji for lunch later to thank him, because she thinks he's Ryuga. I don't know why she thinks he's Ryuga, considering one of them is red, one of them is black. These are 2 very different suits in that regard.
Everyone's colorblind.
Sometimes I feel that way, because I saw in the Soda Pop Discord, some people were like, is Zero One yellow? Yes.
Yes.
Maybe check like a color picker real quick to see if he's yellow, because like colors have hexadecimal values that are universal and will tell you exactly what the color is in words. Also, you can check to see if you are some like version of colorblind, so check that, please. I know I'm not, because I've done the test. I'm technically not colorblind in any capacity. I am blind in other capacities, but I'm not colorblind. Anyway, the 2 of them hang out for lunch. They argue. They end up sending some spices flying into a table next to them. And hey, it's a bunch of the cop characters from Kamen Rider Agito. It's in the back, it's G3. In the front, it's, I don't remember her name, but his boss, who developed G3. And then next to her is the one asshole from Agito. That sucks! So hey, more Agito characters. But after this, Shinji goes to the bathroom to like clean up, and then he sees his mirror, or he misses his mirror self stalking about, and that one leaves the mirror and accompanies Miho to this random rooftop later, leaving Shinji alone and confused as he eventually follows them.
So leaving him normal.
Fair. We also check in with Deer real quick, but we find out that she's scared of dying because, duh. Shiro then drops by to be like, by the way, I'm totally gonna get you a new life with the Rider fight. It's fine. Everything will be fine. You're not dying. Put a pin in that.
Yeah.
So, we cut to that night. Mirror Shinji, that I'm just gonna call G, tries to kill Mio by just choking her out on this rooftop, except he starts to fizzle out, so he hops in the mirror, and Miho goes after him. This seems like a stupid decision, but we'll get there. Shinji also shows up to see her hop in. Rin is nearby and spots a monster attack and is attacking it, so he sees the fight that is like unfolding here. When
Except
Miho
for
tracks
he's
down
colorblind too.
Yes. Although, to his benefit, it is at night and he is
They're
looking
on
at
a
a
lit
black
up room.
Fair.
Rooftop. I mean, come on.
Anyway.
And I mean, it would be different if the Ryuki suit wasn't a freaking bright red.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
You
Like
could,
a bright red.
I would have to think you could almost be in a pitch black room and still see that it's red.
Yeah, it is red and bright. It's bright red and silver. Two things that will show up well as long as light is hitting it. Guess what? Light hits the suit and hits the Ryuga suit, and it still shows up black. Anyway, Ren takes out this monster eventually and watches this fight, deciding not to help.
Because of course he does.
Yep. So Ryuga and Femin fight. He pretty much demolishes Fem the entire fight until Shinji shows up, and then Ryuga leaves. And then, Shinji gets Mio out there, and she's acting fine as Ren finishes up his fight with the smear monster that's over here somewhere. But yeah, she's okay, and the two of them part ways on the street, and she even ties his shoelaces once more, and he leaves, and then she keels over in a bush and then says her final line and just dies. She was not hit by a final vent in any capacity.
Nope.
She got rammed through some pillars, yes, but otherwise she seems fine, and she walked down an entire fucking building with Shinji. But no, keels over in a bush. And nobody notices that she's dead in this bush. Like on this sidewalk that's just there. This is why we complain about Toshiki in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, hey Charizard. You have come in to hear us talk about a bad movie. Yeah, also, this is why we complain about treatment of female writers, because this keeps happening, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I have not watched this. I've been sporadic on the last few episodes of Zenkaiger, because I just am not in the mood to watch the filler episodes. I'll watch this week's episode because it's plot, but I need plot episodes. We're at the end of the show. Where's my plot episodes, please? I know Zenkaiger doesn't do that very often, but I need those right now. So yeah, Miho's dead. That means we're down to 3 writers. So later that day, Ren talks to Shinji, and he's just like, hey, you fought a writer. You actually are doing the thing you're supposed to be doing in this writer fight. And Shinji's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Deciding not to talk about the fact that there is a duplicate of him out there somewhere.
Yeah. Shinji, you idiot.
Yeah. At this point, Yui comes outside and fills the two of them in on the whole story of, by the way, Shiro's using this entire writer war to get sacrifices or a sacrifice in order to give Yui a full life. And Ren, the fucking stupid goddamn idiot he is in this fucking movie for some goddamn reason, and I do not understand, is like, well, I'm still gonna fight people because I need the wish. Even though the wish doesn't actually exist. And he's being played. Because Ren's not allowed to do anything besides fight Shinji, I guess.
I get the feeling like this was written in the mindset of all Ren does is fight Shinji.
I mean, that's not wrong.
I mean, true, but yeah.
So yeah, that's happening. Later on, Shinji sees one of those rain doll things, and he's like, oh no, Yui was the small girl! Oh no, this is all my fault!
Oh no,
I mean,
yes, you're exactly right, Shinji.
I mean, you're at fault for a lot of things in the show, but I don't know why we had to go the long way around on this one, but fucking whatever. G then drops by to be like, hi, I'm absorbing you now. Meanwhile, Yui heads to the research room at the college, which is technically room 401. because that's technically the name of the room. I forgot that that was a thing, because I don't think it was ever mentioned in the show. But you see the 401 room number in this movie.
I think it was mentioned.
Okay, I forgot about that then. Anyway, she's there to have a talk with Shiro and have like a private birthday party thing. And don't pay attention to the dropping liquid thing that is intercutting these scenes with her and Shiro at all. That's not important at all and will not upset you in some capacity in like 5 minutes. Have I mentioned I don't like Yoshiki Inoue as a writer?
I mean, yes.
We'll get there. Anyway, G absorbs Shinji. He goes Ryuga and attacks Ren. They fight it out for a bit as Yui and Shiro reminisce, and until Yui's like tells Shiro, you don't have to save me anymore. And she blows out the candles, and then we find out that she apparently cut herself and was bleeding out this whole time, and now she's dead. Yep. This is reminding me of all the things I'm just like, this is why I don't like Yoshiki Inoue as a writer. This is why I'm not excited for Dawn Brothers. This is why everyone's like, oh, he wrote Jetman, right? And I'm like, yeah, he wrote a lot of things after Jetman too. A lot of them are bad. This is one of them. This is garbage. Yui's answer to this is, well, if I commit suicide, he can't save me. Except he can. Still, that's not stopping him. Also, that doesn't solve the problem.
Nope.
So this sucks. By the way, her corpse is going to be leaning over this table for the rest of the movie. In all of these shots, where all of this dramatic stuff is happening, her corpse is just hanging out in the background. And I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of fucked up that no one has bothered to, like, do anything with her. Just to, like, move her, or, like, I don't know. Maybe not have her be near a fight.
Yeah.
Just let her just be dead, slumped over on this table. Don't give her any respect at all. So Shiro sees this, he's pissed, shatters all the reflective surfaces in the area, so that's what's led Ren here. And by the time he gets there, Shiro just goes poof. Because he's too sad and mad about this to still exist. Or something. I don't fucking know. We're in the last, like, 15 minutes of this movie, and I don't know how to go about describing this ending to you. Because, oh boy, do we go somewhere. So, Ren shows up, he sees all this, he's upset. Ryuga shows up, he wants to finish his fight, but then Shinji separates from him. Because as we find out, Ryuga did all this for Yui, because... of course he did. So, don't give him any sort of motivation separate from Shiro.
I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. So now, Ryuga and Shinji fight. Then they ready their final events. They kick each other, but Shinji ends up killing Ryuga. And Ren, of course, does nothing this entire time to help. Because why would he help in this movie in any capacity whatsoever?
I mean, yeah, why would he help? It's not like he's the secondary writer or anything. No.
So now a horde of monsters descend upon the city as Shinji and Ren are talking about their friendship and stuff. But Ren's like, I still need to win the now non-existent Rider fight because who the fuck's going to grant him the wish? Who? Who? Fucking Shiro set all this up and he's dead. Fucking, where's this wish gonna pop out of?
Yeah.
So they go their survive forms, which, by the way, Ryuki now gets to debut his survive form for exactly 5 seconds a month before it debuts in the show. Haven't mentioned that Tsushiki Inoue also does not give a fuck about the toys and promoting the toys, which is kind of supposed to be part of his job as a writer, because the show's got to sell that merchandise, because that's how we make money. Like, you could do it in a good way. You don't have to shill it super badly. Yeah, they go on theirs.
Or, he could have actually, wrote some fight scenes.
Yeah. But they go to their survive forms in a different way than they normally do because reasons. They hop on their monsters, they fly off into the horde, and that's it. That's the movie. As we get a scene with child Yui reuniting with child Shiro somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, because it's definitely not in the mirror world because both.
Yeah. But in the notes is the writer wiki's like bullet points of all the extra scenes. I'm not gonna go over all of them because fucking I don't care. So how'd you feel about the movie?
Meh.
We've come a long way. Because this is the second only writer solo film of the Heisei era. We've come a long way since here.
Yeah.
Because this movie's bad. This movie's just bad. It's boring and bad, and its treatment of Femme and Yui just make me want to say fuck off to this movie. I'm sorry. Something very visceral in me is just like, no. At both of those scenes. Just incredibly viscerally, no, fuck you. I don't want to watch this movie anymore. This movie sucks. So yeah, we're almost done. Any other thoughts?
No, not really, no.
Alright then. Next week, we will finally be free of Ryuki because we'll be watching the 13 Rider special, plus 2 more episodes of the show to fill out the time. I don't know the order we're going to do those in. I think we might just do the 13 Rider, do it in that order. Just here's the 13 Rider special. Here's 2 more episodes of Ryuki. We're done. Goodbye. We're moving on to a better show. But between now and then, Wednesday, we continue our co-op run of Metroid Prime 2. Friday, I start Pokemon Arceus. Saturday will be the podcast, and Sunday will be that final look at Ryuki. So, folks, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away at that Filico. At JGSoon on Twitter gets you updates when we go live. And Smash Point Discord and chat gets us learning. Drop by, say hi. See you Wednesday, folks.